let's start off. It's hot, and I have various air blowing things running, and I ain't turning them off. So you may hear a little something in the background. It is not only an anniversary week or month for the channel, it's actually an anniversary day. Like I said, those of you that have been around for a while, you've probably heard me bring up before that, I originally used this channel as part of my Examiner.com writing, and so you go back and you watch the first videos on this channel, it's auto racing. And when I decided to start a view from the middle, I just said, well, I've already got a channel, why start another one? Which is why the address for this channel is YouTube / WF Sports X, which stands for Wichita Falls Sports Examiner, and after it was already too late, I realized that could be read as WF Sport Sex, which it probably explains why Tracy Lords, the actual Tracy Lords, followed me on Twitter for quite some time. And that's not a joke. Tracy Lords actually started following my Twitter briefly. Since it is the point of the very first video you'll find on this channel is actually uploaded July 31st of 2011. To say this is a 9-year anniversary for the channel is a little misleading because, like I said, I used it for Examiner.com for a while. When I stopped writing for Examiner.com, the channel just kind of sat vacant for like 5 years. A View from the Middle has been around for 3 years, but since the very roots of the channel do go back to July 31st, 2011, I thought it might be a fun thing to just go back and look at life in general on July 31st, 2011. So enjoy the scenery while we just take a look at some of the things that were pertinent to July 31st, 2011. It's only, I'll say only 9 years ago, I guess, depending on your perspective, that I'm kind of to the age now that 9 years doesn't seem like that long, but the 9 years between 2011 and 2020 went by a lot faster than, say, the 9 years between 1981 and 1990, for instance. That was a long time. But just to go back and look, July 31st, 2011 was a Sunday. That was 3,288 days ago. The U.S. President was Barack Obama. The Governor of Texas was Rick Perry. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom was David Cameron. And the Prime Minister of Canada was Stephen Harper. And he is the only one of those four that ever appeared on Corner Gas. How about that? The number one song in the U.S. on July 31st, 2011. Now I thought this was kind of interesting. I knew this was a popular song. I did not realize it was ever a number one song. Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO. The number one song in the United Kingdom was She Makes Me Wanna by JLS. So you have LMFAO and JLS. Apparently initials were popular band names in 2011. I'd never even heard that song except for a few seconds of it that I heard as I was putting all this together. The number one movie in the United States was Cowboys and Aliens. Number one movie in the UK was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. On American television, July 31st, 2011, America's Funniest Home Videos on ABC, 60 Minutes on CBS, Dateline on NBC, and American Dad on Fox started the primetime network TV lineup. A couple other TV notes. July 31st, 2011, a show called Against the Wall had its debut episode on Lifetime. If you don't remember, it was a cop show of some kind. If you don't remember it, there's probably no reason you should. It only ran for 13 episodes. But also, July 31st, 2011, that was the third episode of a show called Bar Rescue. It had debuted a couple of weeks earlier on Spike TV. It's actually still around. I think they've changed networks, but it's still on. If you are a wrestling fan, John Cena was the WWE champion, and Kelly Kelly was the WWE Divas champion. They called it the women's champion at the time. They called it the Divas champion. On July 31st, 2011, the Boston Red Sox won, or actually they were in first place. They were in they had the best record in the American League in baseball at 66-40. The Philadelphia Phillies had the best record in the National League at 68-39. A gallon of gas cost in 2011. Average gallon of gas was $3.52 in the United States. A postage stamp was 44 cents. A gallon of milk was $3.39. Movie ticket was $8.20, and the yearly wage on average was $40,925. So that's actually lower now. Okay, I got a lot of sports stuff in here because that's just easy. Not going to try not to overload you with too much sports, but of course, as I mentioned, the Red Sox and Phillies, neither one made the World Series. The Cardinals beat the Rangers in the 2011 World Series. That's enough about that. Auburn beat Oregon 22-19 in the college football national championship. Something was a pretty big deal here. That was the year that the Super Bowl was held in Cowboy Stadium, not terribly far from where I live. The Green Bay Packers beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-25. I think that's all the sports stuff I made notes of. Like I said, I could do a lot more. I was like, okay, not everybody is a big sports fan. Natalie Portman won the Oscar for Best Actress. Colin Firth won for Best Actor, and The King's Speech won the Best Picture Oscar that year. The Space Shuttle Discovery completed its 39th and final mission, and then later in the year, the Space Shuttle Atlantis would make the final Space Shuttle mission. They shut that program down. Fidel Castro resigned from the Communist Party of Cuba's Central Committee after 45 years. Osama bin Laden was killed by U.S. Special Forces, including SEAL Team 6. It was 4 months short of the 10th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. 3 months later, many members of the SEAL Team 6 were killed in a helicopter crash, and that raised a few eyebrows. Steve Jobs resigned as the CEO of Apple. That's also 2011 is also the year that Ashton Kutcher he debuted on 2.5 Men, replacing Charlie Sheen. 2011 was the year Minecraft was released. I thought it had been around a lot longer than that, but apparently just came out in 2011. And finally, the last thing, and I just thought this was really neat. I don't remember hearing anything about it at the time. Neptune completed its first orbit since its discovery in 1846. So it took 165 Earth years to make one orbit. I just thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, those are some things that happened in 2011. Other than that, for myself, like I said, that's at that time I was still building airplane seats. I was still writing for Examiner.com at the time on the side. I would do that for probably about another year or so. And then, like I say, YouTube was just kind of a thing I used as to kind of help my Examiner.com along. My articles on Examiner.com. Of course, since then, Examiner.com was bought out by a thing called Access, and all my articles on that are gone now. I just have a few pictures, and unfortunately, all the computer. That's another thing. The computer I had at the time got a virus, and I lost all that stuff. I lost all. Luckily, I had saved a few of the pictures on a disk, so I do still have some of the pictures from when I was writing for Examiner.com, because I had to provide my own photos and stuff. But all the stuff I wrote It's all gone, and it's no longer online anymore. So unfortunately, I can't even share any of that with you. But yeah, so it's 2011, 9 years ago today. Then of course, 2017, I just decided to give it a shot, and 3 years later, I'm still doing it, for better or for worse. But okay, if you happen to have any good memories of 2011, toss them out there. I did want to say I've been working a lot lately. I haven't had a whole lot of time. Maybe I shouldn't even say it out loud. But I think things are gonna calm back down a little bit. I just came off of 10 straight days of working. Ended up working what was essentially 4 double shifts during that stretch. Technically 3 of them weren't doubles, but I mean the semantics. It was like one day it was like an hour short of being officially a double shift. So it's still a lot of hours to work, but it's things are looking like they're maybe gonna level back out now. But I do have some pretty good stuff coming. I know some of the stuff that's been I just haven't had time to edit much, but I got some pretty interesting stuff coming up. And as for the outtake, if you want your channel to still be around in 9 years or 3 years, here's a little advice for all you video makers out there with our outtake. A little something I did when I was trying to do some geocaching, and just a little mistake that I made. Well, I hope you enjoyed looking back at 2011 with me. I know there wasn't a whole lot to this, but alright, well, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Alright, before we get started, a little piece of advice to all of you video makers out there. It helps when you turn the camera on to actually be recording when you're doing your video.